Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Beauchemin, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energy and the numerology for April 2021. First, I'll break down the numerology for April, and then I will dive into the energy forecast for your particular life path number. These are general readings. If you're interested in a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so April 2021 is a 9 universal cycle. We haven't had one of these cycles in a while, so it's going to definitely be something we've been looking forward to, I think. We'll definitely be reaping some of the rewards that this energy can bring in. So 9 energy can bring about the closure or ending of a significant cycle within your life. So if there's an area within your life where you can feel things coming to a close, this may occur for you in April. Oftentimes, when this 9 energy comes around, we usually see endings or closure or things coming to fruition around things that we've been working on for quite some time. It can be around a relationship. It can be around maybe some kind of health concern that you've had or something that you've kind of been working on to do with your body or the way you present yourself. It can have to do with work projects, creative projects. I mean, really just anything that again, is just something you've been working on for quite some time or been dealing with for some time, or it's been, again, kind of coming up for quite some time. This can be coming to an end, to some kind of closure or fruition where you'll see things tying up very nicely. Sometimes they can end a little bit chaotically, a little bit abruptly. So it's not always necessarily tied up with a lovely bow, but a lot of times it is. It's something that we've been putting in a lot of effort in towards, we've been showing up for. It's something that's been on our plate to handle or deal with or overcome. And it's kind of like the universe is like, well done. It's kind of like graduating in a sense, where the universe is like, well done. You've done the work. Now here's the reward, and it's time for this to complete or come to closure. So oftentimes this closure, whatever it is, creates this beautiful space for a grand new beginning. And I want to make sure that you understood I said grand, including a brand new beginning, but a grand new beginning. This is creating the space for something big, something divinely timed. It's that cosmic, okay? So you may see gifts or rewards come your way at the closure of this cycle, whatever that is for you, because of the work and the growth that you've dedicated yourself to. Be open to receiving these much deserved gifts. You are worthy. And a lot of times it can be where that closure takes place, and it might feel like a loss or something that we need to grieve. And that's okay, because a lot of times, like I said, these are things that we've been energetically invested in. We've invested resources and time and whatever. We've just really been invested in whatever this is. And so when that comes to a close, sometimes there can be grief associated with that. And of course, we want to honor that. And we might not be able to fully recognize or see those gifts as they present themselves, but that's okay. The gifts will still come. And when we are ready, we'll be able to see them and then put them to use. So if you've put in the work, you've put in the effort, you've continued to show up, you've done, you've exhausted everything that you need to exhaust around whatever this life lesson is, around whatever this growth or expansion opportunity is, you will see some kind of reward from the universe. You will see some kind of gift come in. Even if you don't recognize it right away, you will be able to recognize it in hindsight, and then you'll be able to use that gift in your forward movement, in your propelling you forward in a beautiful way. So again, this energy is allowing things to tie up and close so that it can create that grand space for a beautiful new beginning. And with that ending will come those rewards, okay? 9 energy is that of the humanitarian. So during this time, during this cycle, you may feel called to find ways where you can be of greater service to those in need and how you can dedicate your efforts towards creating a better world to live in. This is beautiful energy and a great time to ask yourself whether your actions, your current actions, contribute to the harmony, balance, and good of all. Or do your actions focus more on the needs and the desires of only those whom you deem worthy? The energy of the 9 is vast, okay? It's expansive. It's without limits. So allow it to permeate your way of thinking to become much more open-minded, generous, and idealistic as opposed to being more cynical. Do something for another during this time in a state of gratitude for the blessings that you have received throughout your life. This is a great cycle to pay it forward, to, purchase the coffee for someone behind you in line, or the meal for somebody across the restaurant, whatever, or pay somebody's bill, or whatever the case may be, whatever speaks to you. But this is beautiful, beautiful energy of paying it forward, of creating that beautiful karma, or paying off those karmic debts. 9 cycles can be great for opening up to deeper innate gifts, including psychic abilities, intuitiveness, and vivid dream space. So this is going to be a time where you really want to pay close attention to your dreamscapes, to whatever comes in for you during dream time, during daydreams and night dreams. That's going to be the case always, but it is especially going to be true throughout April. So pay attention to those dreams that come in, write them down, try to work with them the best that you can. I do offer Dreamwork, so if that's something that you're interested in exploring further, I would love to work with you to pull those beautiful messages that are trying to come through for you so that you can work with them as you create this new beginning. During this cycle, creative powers, during this 9 vibration can be used to develop your artistic abilities that can be put to great use in the upcoming 1 cycle. So pay attention to any of those inspirations that come into you. They can, again, come in through dreams. They can come in through somebody saying something to you, or maybe you get a thought or an idea that comes in. This is a great time to get messy and play and be creative. And, you don't necessarily need to start whatever this new idea is, whatever this new goal is. This is going to be, again, a time for playing around and figuring out how you want to start that process. Because really, this is going to be the time or the energy around closure, completion, endings, things coming to fruition so that you can create that space for those grand new beginnings. And those new beginnings, a beautiful time to start those new beginnings is during a 1 cycle, which will be in May. So this is going to be a time for, really fostering that growth of those creative ideas, your creative talents, exploring your creative talents, see what speaks to you, what brings out your passion, and use that energy to sort of become the expert or to perfect some of those skills, right? Or to really flex that muscle so that when that 1 cycle comes in, that energy around that universal 1, when that comes in May, you're ready to hit the ground running, okay? You're ready for those big new adventures, those big new starts, okay? So beautiful, beautiful energy in April. Definitely, again, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to those things that are ending. And if you need to grieve that ending, then do so. Understand, though, that you, in allowing these endings to take place or to make space from these endings, you're creating an opportunity for something much more aligned, much more fruitful and bountiful to come your way. So it's really, really positive. It's really fantastic energy to work with. I'm really excited for April. Okay, life path number 1. Let's take a deeper look at April for you all. I pulled an animal spirit card for you to get an idea of the overall energy. And it's interesting you all got boar spirit. And boar is saying to you, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. So if there's anything that you've been sort of shying away from, or you've had sort of hesitancy when it comes to, speaking your truth or having those difficult conversations with people, I think you're going to find that you will have opportunities in April to have those conversations. It's almost like things are kind of coming to a head where the conversations need to be had. Things need to be ironed out or worked through so that you and both party, all involved can move forward in the most healthiest way, right? So the way that is most beneficial to everyone who's involved. So this can be, if it's not about a romantic relationship, this can be about a work relationship where maybe you don't get along with your colleagues or your peers or your manager, your boss. And it's kind of like, again, whatever this is, you're going to already know what it is that needs to be kind of ironed out or hashed out or, discussed. Basically, the lines of communication need to be opened. And if it's something where you've already opened the lines of communication, but you're not seeing any headway, you're not seeing things change, then that's going to be an indicator to you that you may be at an impasse here, and you need to take matters into your own hands to decide how to move forward in a way that best serves you and that is the most healthiest option for all involved. So again, Boar is just saying there's no more hiding behind the curtain. There's no more sort of making yourself small to make others comfortable. You need to stand up, stand in your power, and voice your concerns, voice what you need. If it's something where it's about a business situation where you feel underappreciated, then this is going to be a time where you need to voice those concerns in order to show up in your greatest creative expression. You need to be able to tell your boss, your manager, what you need to feel successful and the tools that you need to feel successful. If this is a relationship and you have been, again, just trying to calm the waters because you don't want to have those difficult conversations, because you don't want to create any kind of conflict or chaos, the message really is, if there is any kind of fear or, again, fear of not wanting to create conflict, in reality, the conflict is already there. It's just that it's being sort of swept under the rug and not being dealt with. And so the message from Boar is it's time to lift that rug up and just face the dirt, right? Just face the things that need to be faced, have those difficult conversations, and just move through the conflict in a healthier way than avoidance. So very blunt message from Boar, but it needs to be said. So again, if there's anything within your life where it's like you have been avoiding the conversation or avoiding a difficult situation because, again, you don't want to rock the boat, I think you're going to find in April that the boat is going to rock. And this is your opportunity to have those conversations, because ultimately it's those conversations that are going to lead you to a healthier situation. Okay. All right. Moving into each week of the month, I broke it down into 4 weeks. We start the first week off. This feels very like material driven. So it could have to do with like a business, work, finances, any kind of material resources. But there's this energy around like you keep trying to force something. You keep maybe you're setting an expectation really high, and then when you aren't able to meet that expectation, or when the external doesn't reflect back to you that which you've been striving for, then you see that as a personal failure, or you see that as a reflection of maybe I'm not meant to be doing this, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. And really, it's much simpler than that. What the message is that's coming through very, very clearly is it's all about patience. This, whatever it is that you're striving to or trying to force to happen quicker than it is meant to, you are being sort of held back by the universe in a sense, because you're not quite ready just yet. You're ready to take the next step, and that next step will present itself when the time is right, but you're not ready to move full force ahead yet, and you're not ready to be at the end destination yet. Patience is going to be key this first week. And again, it's like the message they're sending me is to let you know that you're not being held back out of any sort of malice or vindictiveness. It's for your greater good. It's because things are still happening behind the scenes that need to happen before you can reach that potential that you're trying to reach, before you can see that influx of clients or cash or resources, or selling something that you're trying to sell, or whatever the case may be, or expressing yourself in a way, or getting that promotion or whatever. And it's kind of like what they really want me to say to you is you're on the right track. You're exactly where you need to be in this moment. You are fully supported, and stop beating yourself up. I'm just really getting this energy around you feeling like this grief or sadness because things aren't accelerated, or things aren't moving at the pace that you want them to move at. But the message from the universe is basically things are moving exactly as they're meant to be moving, and you're right on schedule. And if you start falling behind or lagging behind, don't worry. The universe, spirit, they will come and they will fast forward you forward, right? They'll propel you forward if need be. But right now, I'm just getting the sense that like you're exactly where you need to be. You're doing amazing. You're just being really hard on yourself, and you're setting that expectation at a bar that's not meant to be met just yet. So if that resonates for you, patience is the key word here. You're going to be able to reap this harvest. You're going to be able to see these rewards for your efforts. And it may be that comes for you in April, or at least an indication or a glimpse of that. But the key is just don't beat yourself up so much for not being where you think you should be, because you are exactly where you need to be at this moment. As we move into the second week, I actually see this really beautiful energy of contentment, of joy, of celebration. So it could be that it's like you get some kind of major win here, that you see some of those gifts come in from some of the endings that may have come in for you. But it can also be about you taking the intentional effort to really focus your energy and your vision on the things that are working, on the things that bring you joy, right? It's like, yes, in life, there's always going to be something that's not working out, or that isn't, at the level that we want it to be at in that moment. But at the same token, there's always something that is working out, always something to celebrate, always something to have gratitude for. And I feel like this week, if it's not something tangible coming in for you where you feel that elated sense of joy for, time to celebrate, then I just feel like this is a call for you to create that for yourself. If you don't see it coming in from the external world just yet, or what you sort of deem worthy of that celebration coming in from the external world just yet, understand that you always have the power to create that for yourself. So this is just going to be a time where you might need to start or continue a gratitude journal, and really, shift your focus onto those things that are working, that feel good for you. And by doing that, you're letting the universe know, hey, I want more of this. Okay. So that second week is an opportunity for you to really hone in on the things that are working, what brings you joy. If you cannot find anything within your life that brings you joy, then there's your indicator that it's time you create something that brings you joy, as opposed to waiting for someone or something to bring that to you. Okay? We move into the third week, and it's interesting because I'm kind of getting this 9 energy of some kind of completion coming in. Now, relationships are coming in very, very strongly, but this does not necessarily just have to be like a relationship with a partner. This can be a relationship with self. So this can be, it's like almost I see you at like a crossroads, and a major decision needs to be made, and that decision impacts this relationship, whether this is a relationship with another person or a relationship with self. I am really getting this like divine feminine, divine masculine energy. So it can be like this sacred divine feminine masculine energy from within, trying to come together, trying to balance out. And you may have some pivotal moment this month where you have an opportunity to find what that balance feels like for you, so that you can continue to sort of seek that balance moving forward. For others, this does feel like it's going to be a kind of that boar energy coming in, where it's like face your problems head on. And I am seeing like this, again, like this crossroads energy. So it's almost like you may have the perfect opportunity at this time to have those difficult conversations with loved ones, with colleagues, with a partner, that can either bring you together or may move you apart. Okay, that is very possible. But remember, this 9 energy is about completion, but completion of things that need to end, that are no longer serving all involved. Because remember, if something is toxic for one person, it's toxic for the other person. So if the two of you can't work things out through communication or other efforts, then there's probably an opportunity for things to start moving apart. Okay. And that's not always the case. Again, there's like sort of, again, just like this crossroads energy of a decision needing to be made. And whatever that decision is, which hopefully will involve some kind of communication, some kind of open dialogue, has an opportunity to either bring you together with someone or pull you apart. And just know that things have a way of working out in the way that they are meant to. Okay. So if you feel particularly drawn to make some kind of a decision, or you're following your intuition, which is what I would highly recommend during this time, is to really go with how you feel within. Couple that with what you know from what you see in the external, but really go from within when you make this decision. Again, after having that conversation. But I just see this opportunity during this time to either heal something or end something, or at least start that process in a big way. This feels really big. This feels very divinely guided. Okay. So this could be like you coming together with a soulmate, or meeting a soulmate, or a twin flame, or whatever the case may be. And it disrupting your current situation even. So again, but if you remember Bohr's message, no sweeping it under the carpet. This is something that needs to be faced head on. And if you can do that with confidence and courage, then you will emerge victorious for all involved. Okay. Then we move into the end of the week, and there's something that you are clinging to, or something that you're overly attached to, that you're being asked to find the balance with. So if this is somebody that you are clinging to or overly attached to, you need to find a healthier balance to where and sometimes what I've found is when we cling to something or we're overly attached to something, the universe will often give us our challenges around those things or they'll take that thing away or that person away to show us our strength, to show us what we're capable of, and that we have everything that we need to be a whole human being, right? On this journey. So whatever this is, I just feel like this is something that you're clinging to out of fear of losing it, out of fear of disruption, out of fear of chaos, whatever the case may be, out of fear of the unknown. It's like you're clinging to something that really isn't meant to be ongoing, or you're overly clinging to something that is a resource that will always be there, and you're just sort of feeding into your fear of losing it, okay? So the message really this last week of April is take notice of what it is that you seem to be overly attached to or clinging to, and how can you find your balance there. And I don't think it's something you're going to have to search out, right? Like if there's something that you're clinging to or overly attached to, that's where you're going to see your greatest challenges usually. That's where you're going to see, the universe trying to kind of pry your fingertips away from this so that you can see your own strength, so you can see how capable you are. So whatever, again, it's not something you're going to have to search out. If this is for you, you're going to know what this is. And so you're just being asked to find your balance here, to however that is. And that can be a long process. That can take years, right? But I feel like it's going to be coming in at this time to sort of highlight for you where there needs to be a healthier exchange, where there needs to be a healthier balance. Okay? It's up to you what you do with that energy, but I feel like it's going to be highlighted at this time. All right? Thank you, ones. I hope that April is a beautiful month for you. And just remember Bohr's message: face those problems head on. You got this. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.